Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Zachary Dickinson here, and today, well, first of all, hope you all had a wonderful and blessed day, and over the past days, hope it all was wonderful, and it was bad. I pray that it'll get better and have a more fun and blessed day. Whatever's happening, God bless, and hope you're doing fine. So, today we are going to be ranking the Marvel Netflix shows that are now officially canon since Daredevil Born Again came out last year, and season 2 of it is about to come out in 2 months. We're going to be ranking these shows from 6 to 1, and since I did a 30+ minute video about it not that long ago, you probably already know what number 1 is. But anyways, there's 6 shows. And so this will solely be based off of my enjoyment of them and how much I still like them to this day, even after watching them a couple of years ago. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, before I start the rankings, I want to preface saying I do love at least one or more seasons of every single one of these shows. However, season 1s of these shows were all top tier, but not every season 2 or the final season of it actually hit the mark. So, with that being said, number 6 is Luke Cage. Season 1 was top tier, but season 2, not as much. This is also one of the few where I've never rewatched at least season 2. I don't think I've ever watched Luke Cage in general after I actually finished it. It's not really the best to rewatch because what happens at the ending I am very not a fan of, because I don't really understand how we get there, to be honest. So that's my number 6. So, while you're watching this, make sure to like the video if you like this, subscribe for future content of TV shows on Wednesdays, book reviews and stuff like that on Saturdays, and Marvel DC content on Mondays. So now, and also comment something below, what something you liked or disliked, or just something to talk about these Netflix Marvel shows. Now, unfortunately, number 5 is Iron Fist. Again, season 1 was good, and then season 2 was season 2. It was mostly good, but it's more or less the fact that it gave us a major cliffhanger, and it's been nearly a decade since. Season 2 came out a year after. Season 2 came out roughly a year or so after season 1, gave us a major cliffhanger, and we've never seen any of those characters in that cliffhanger ever again, and it's very much pissed me off. I would love to see an Iron Fist reboot, renewal, revival of any kind, because season 3 would have actually gone off the chain, at least to start with that cliffhanger. But I love season 1. Season 2 started out fine, but it just didn't hit as well as it should have. So now we have number 4, which is The Defenders. The only reason why it's above Luke Cage and Iron Fist is because it has one single season. Not saying it's any good or bad. I really do not think anything beyond this really has that bad of a season. There's some seasons that are really like fall off, but this only had one season, and it was a very good masterclass of it, especially with this being why Daredevil Matt Murdock comes out of retirement and then sets up the entirety of season 3 of Daredevil, and also sets up the entire season 2 and 3 of Jessica Jones, I believe. Let's see, this came out here. Jessica Jones. Yeah, this sets up all future seasons of all other 5 shows. So it's a major thing where they all come together and then separate forever. I would have loved a new season of this, just of a new thread that's been kind of building, because this thread was building in every single show and had some type of piece in all the shows, which was very good and very well thought out in the writing. Some bits and pieces of the show wasn't as good in writing as the setup was, but the ultimate conclusion of this show was great and phenomenal. However, there are better Netflix Marvel shows. Alright, so now we're into the top 3, and well, let's see, and well, number 3 is The Punisher. Now, this one, like Luke Cage and Iron Fist, had a fall off in season 2, but the storytelling was still great, and I would argue it's better than Luke Cage season 2 and Iron Fist season 2. The only drawback was season 1 Punisher set the bar way too high for a sequel to come out. Now, the beginning parts of this was top tier phenomenal masterclass of getting to the point of the actual plot moving, and all the setup was real nice in the beginning. It just wasn't quite as good as season 1, but that's very hard to do with how good season 1 was, which is why I'm very much excited for the Punisher special to come out with a whole new brand of storytelling and plot development to come out, since it's been nearly a decade since the Punisher came out. It's been about 7 years, and so this special will be presumably like an hour or so long, and I very much am anticipating that. Okay, so number 2 is Jessica Jones, and well, we already know exactly what number 1 is about to be, since it's the last one left, and we already knew, especially since I gave it a dedicated video. But number 2 is Jessica Jones. Season 1 and Season 2 were good. Season 3, not as much, but it did set up a lot of stuff. Season 1 and Season 2 were very good storytelling. Season 1 was beginning and very PTSD and traumatic based. Season 2 was still pretty good and good backstory, and then Season 3 wasn't as good, but Season 1 and Season 2 make up for Season 3 not being as good. I don't think it's quite as bad enough of a downgrade for any of the other ones that had multiple seasons, which is why it is number 2. Alright, so number 1, it's my favorite TV show of all time. I can't wait for Daredevil Born Again Season 2 to happen. Season 1 came out last year. You already know. This is Daredevil Season 1. I can't say too much more. I gave, 30, let me see. I gave this entire thing 33 and a half minutes of talking about it. I love the villains. Kingpin and Daredevil's rivalry is phenomenal. All the minor villains have good introductions and a lot of good storytelling beats in them. The ones that don't fight, the ones that do fight. The Punisher gets introduced here. Some minor characters of Luke Cage and Iron Fist show up every little bit here and there, but not all that much. Daredevil is one of the most perfect representations of a comic book character of all time. Matt Murdock is great as a lawyer, great as a crime-fighting vigilante. He's blind. I love the whole thing of this. It would make more sense for him to be called Batman and Batman to be called Daredevil, since bats are blind and all that, but Daredevil sounds better for this, and the costumes are great. I can't wait for Daredevil Born Again Season 2, and so I won't talk too much about this because, well, there's 33 and a half minutes worth of stuff for this. So if you haven't watched that video, I'll link it and put it at the end of this, and I hope you all had a wonderful day. And so that is my ranking of the Netflix Marvel shows that came out from 2015 to 2019. The only one that came out in 2019 was The Punisher and Jessica Jones. Even Daredevil finished in 2018. So we didn't have all that much in 2019, but it was a good 3, 6, 8, 10, 11, 13 seasons worth of shows in roughly a 3.5 year span, really only about 3 years and 2 months, since it started in April 10th of 2015 and ended June 14th of 2019. So it was a good, decent stretch with a good bit of shows around it. And it also set the tone of, could Marvel actually go past PG-13? So, Daredevil Born Again Season 2 looks fire. I hope some of the other Defenders characters show up. And I hope you like this video. Subscribe if you aren't already. And comment below something you liked or didn't like about these shows. See you in the next one.